Welcome everyone to episode 55 of Raw Sport. My name is Ahmed Al Houli, and as he does every single week, my co-host, Mr. Tony Sheen, joins me on the show. Tony, what's happening, mate?
Ahmed, good morning to you after we spoke with the young Josh Byrne from Perth last night. So not only are we joining each other every week, it seems to be every 48 hours.
Absolutely, mate. We're burning the midnight oil here at Raw Sport. We're bringing in amazing talent like our next guest, Mr. Dana Coolwell. Dana, welcome to the show, buddy. How you going?
Me boys, I'm going good, eh? How you all going?
All good, mate. Dana or Dana? Which one do you prefer?
Dana, yeah.
Okay. Dana, so who is Dana Coolwell? Tell us the backstory. Where did this journey start? Too many people talk about the fight game. We'll get there. But we want to know more about you yourself.
Well, I started boxing back when I was 14. I was actually playing footy beforehand and just sort of went to the gym and Steve was there. Just went in for a bit of fitness and that to help me with footy. But and then I started sparring a bit more and actually had my first amateur fight later that year after the footy season ended. And basically never looked back from there. And stuck with
Dana, are you a NRL fan or an Aussie rules boy?
Yeah.
No, so you like to throw it backwards instead of kick forwards?
I followed the Cowboys. They were my teams back then, but not too much into it as much anymore. But NRL's sport I used to follow.
But before we lead back into your boxing career, would Jonathan Thurston have been a fan of yours? Sorry, you been a fan of his?
JT and Matty Bowen, they're my two favourite players.
Wow. There you go. So you started going into the boxing gym. It's a Stephen Pitt boxing gym. What's it called now? Hinterland Boxing Gym?
Boxing Club, HBC, yeah.
Sorry, boxing club. And you sort of discovered your love for the sport. You went into the amateurs. What happened in the amateurs, mate? Take us through that journey.
So I basically had my first fight, won that, and fell in love with it, like I said. But in my amateur career, I had I think it was about 35 fights or so, winning multiple state titles, and then won 2 Australian titles as well as a junior and a youth, and then represented Australia at the Junior World Championships. That was back in 2015 when I was 16. Yeah, and I only had 11 fights to my name at the time, so it's a big experience, and it was really good.
Hey, Dana, did somebody see a boxing career for you, or did you see a boxing career for yourself?
I think it was a bit of both with Steve and I, my coach. Like I said, I really like this sport once I started getting into it and training more and taking it more seriously. And as I started sparring and improving in the gym and in my fights, and just sticking with it, Steve and I just grew closer and it's got that good relationship. And we sort of never really questioned it. We just sort of just, as we've just gone along, because I've been with him since I started and just gotten bigger and better sort of together and through the amateurs and now in the pro ranks.
So, boxing for you, is it a passion or is it a job?
Both now. I'm still very passionate about the sport, and I want to win a world championship. That's my major goal. But obviously, got to pay the bills and make the most money out of it in my career because it's only a short career. So I got a good team behind me, and in my career, I want to make as much money as I can, so I can set myself up and my family.
Well, tell us about your family.
I've got a young boy now, me and my partner Beck, and I got a young son, Luca, and he's 22 months now. He'll be 2 in August.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Congrats, man. Wow. You fought at the World Junior Championships. What was that experience like, mate?
And like I said, I only had 11 fights to my name at the time, so it was a massive experience, learning curve. I thought I did enough in my entry bout, but I lost that. But I only had 11 fights. Everyone else there was a lot more experienced. They had like 40, 60 bouts. But outside of competition, went straight into sparring with all the other countries. It was awesome. And it was in Russia too. So traveling and fighting, it's everything you want as a boxer and as an athlete.
Wow. How do you compare the amateur system here to what you're seeing over there in Russia, especially Russia? It's got this boxing team and system.
Like all their countries are a lot closer over there, so they can just travel a few hours and they're in another country fighting top kids. Whereas here it's a bit more shallow.
Isolated.
It's a bit shallow as far as
Talent-wise,
divisions and everything. It's easier to. I think they rack up their experience a lot more. Like I said, with the traveling in countries, but our amateur system now is growing, and boxing in Australia is just growing as a whole.
Look, do you believe that? I know you said that, but do you believe that the boxing system in this country is growing? I mean, Ahmed and I speak to a lot of people at the top of the sport who say it's stagnated, if not going backwards. Do you see a lot of growth in the sport?
Well, definitely in the pros. I see a lot of our pros making the name and showing how good we are on the world stage now. But in the amateurs, I haven't seen a whole lot, to be honest. But I just see we've got a pretty strong team as far as like the Olympic wise. Like we've got that big Tara Moana. He's a gold medal hope. Harry Garside as well. He's a medal hope. So we've got a good team there. As far as everything else, I couldn't tell you, to be honest. Sorry.
In terms of world champions, we've had a very good run the last few years. It's not so much the actual fighters; it's the system behind the sport is what I think is going to let down the sport. Even though there's multiple networks now involved, but unfortunately, the question beckons whether it's feasible or not, or whether it can carry these champions through. And I wish there was more unity.
Yeah.
Because if there was, this sport would be an amazing mechanism for kids like yourself from all over the country to come through this system and literally go and do what Liam Parra did over the weekend from zero to hero. So, yeah, absolutely. All right. You went through the amateur system, you turned pro. Take us through your pro career.
So I've had 15 bouts now. As a professional, 13 wins, 2 losses. Some good wins. I fought over a few divisions, but I'm at featherweight now, the division I should have started at and stayed at. And just recently I won the IBO Intercontinental Featherweight title, which got me a good ranking in the IBO and on BoxerRec as well. So I'm sitting, I think, at number 14 in the world.
Nice.
So right now it's just about making the right fights to improve my career and get me into that world stage.
Do you realise what you just said?
What was that, sorry?
Do you realise what you just said? Number 14 in the world.
BoxerRec, currently.
That is enormous.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm very excited for this next stage. And we want those big fights. And I want to get overseas and start testing myself on that world level.
Do you feel like you're ready to take on the rest of the globe in terms of your boxing prowess?
Yeah, definitely now more than ever. Especially with my last fight and performance, I felt and camp especially everything just worked really well. And I feel I'm ready personally and mentally as well. I think I'm ready for that next stage.
So what is next?
I got a few things working behind the scenes, but like I said earlier, I was supposed to be fighting on that Jake Paul Mike Tyson card.
Oh wow, that gives me shivers.
For that, but that being postponed, and then with I had a bout agreement with a certain opponent, and then with the fight being postponed, that fight sort of dwindled away. So now just working on the next best option. My manager's working very hard for me, and my coach as well. So, but what I'm looking at is in the States. Looking to go to the States to fight.
What you mean? Your next fight, or you want to live there?
Next fight.
Yeah. Dana, did anybody in your family box previous to you, a dad or a grandfather or someone in your lineage somewhere?
It's my mum's father.
Yeah, it's in the genes because you can't have 11 amateur fights and go fight in the world championships, and then have, like, with all due respect, in terms of experience limited to what these other pros are getting, and being ranked number 40 in the world. So there's that natural ability, which you're very, very lucky, mate.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, I think so. I think my coach noticed that a bit in me early on too. But yeah, everything's worked out well.
What about in terms of your? Is it your mum's pop? Yeah, who fought?
My mum's dad and my pop. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So now is that why, by extension of that, you've got the Aboriginal flag tattooed on your chest?
That would be my father's side actually. My mother's Australian,
yep.
And my father is Indigenous Australian. Yeah, and that's why I like having that there, because when I do make it to the world stage, I like to represent my people, and when they see that flag, I'm representing them as well.
And does that drive you harder to know that you are representing your people?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it just gives me that little bit more motivation as well. Yeah.
Has Mundine been a shining force for the Aboriginal people?
As an athlete, yeah, he's been. I like him as an athlete and as a boxer. And he's done things his own way as far as his career. Made a name for himself, and yeah, he's one of my favorite athletes actually. Personally, being a rugby league star, I love rugby league too, and being a boxing star.
So you would have seen. I mean, I know you're a lot younger, but did you see much of his NRL career?
No, I didn't actually. I just used to look a bit up, like YouTube highlights and that, but no, the full games and stuff. No.
Yeah, YouTube is the best platform, as we know.
Dana, who's that one person that you look up to as a sort of a mentor, someone that you always go back to when you feel like you need answers?
Sort of just my coach, I'd say, Steve. Yeah, more than anything now. Just sort of we've been through a lot together in my journey. Me at a young age, starting with him. Like I said, I was 14 at the time, and during that time, I just lost my father about a year prior before boxing, and I was a bit lost at the time. And then finding the gym, finding something I love, finding someone like Steve, it's always been there for me outside of boxing too, not just in the gym, as a mentor and as a good friend.
Stephen Pitt, many years ago now, I feel like I'm old, called me one day and he goes, "Man, I got this ripper kid who's coming through the ranks and we need some people to support him." I go, "Who's this kid?" Because at the time I had ringside. He goes to me, "His name is Coolwell, watch out for him." And I remember during that time, he went from 0 to like you climbed really quickly.
Yeah.
And true to your word, he has absolutely backed you from day one. And this is a bit of a shout out to Stephen himself, because I really like Stephen. He's a great bloke. I've known him for a few years now.
Yeah.
He has believed in you since day one, in front of your face and behind your face and behind your back. He's told me multiple times, and from day one, he said it to me. So I've actually witnessed your journey in the background. So yeah. Stephen's is an honourable man, a remarkable human being, and in terms of his boxing accolades, he was right up there at the top at the amateur level with the Queensland team and so on. And he's doing a great job with you. So well done to you and him, buddy.
Thanks for that. Appreciate that.
Absolutely. Is there a boxer that you sort of look up to, or you go back and watch their fights and study their history?
I got a few. I like some of the old school fighters. I like a bit of Pernell Whitaker, even though he's southpaw. I like Thomas Hearns. But right now, I like Bud Crawford. He's probably one of my favourites right now. I think everyone likes him. He's very well. He can fight in the inside. He can box.
He's a beast. He's a scary beast. Yeah.
I also used to like that Guillermo Rigondo.
Yeah.
Like that Cuban style. There's a few fighters I like to watch, and a bit of Andre Ward as well. Yeah.
Have you fought any Cubans in the amateur system?
Not yet, no.
Have you been over there?
No, actually, I haven't. I'd like to. Like to either fight one or, train alongside.
They're very, very crafty fighters.
Yeah.
Very crafty, very unfortunate. Their biggest problem is in their country there's no pro ranks, and from there what tends to happen is they go to the States, and from the States, they get caught up in this whole political system because they don't have a following. They don't have big enough following. They can't sell tickets, and they get stuck in that circle. And it's been the same way for a long time. But they are amazing fighters. Amazing.
By majority of them usually just stay amateur and stay on the team and do all that. Yeah.
Poor buggers. All right, Tony. Before we wrap things up, do you have any parting words or parting questions for?
Yeah.
Dana?
I do. Dana, I just wanted to know, with the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight being cancelled, which you would have been on the undercard, is there an opportunity to fight on another card of that stature over in the United States for you coming up?
I'd hope so. Like I said, my team's working very hard behind the scenes. The opponent that I was supposed to fight and had the bout agreement with, that fight basically just isn't happening now. So we're looking at the next best option, and hopefully along the lines of, I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to say, but I'll
Just say it anyway.
Top rank. So
I'd like sorry?
Top rank card. If not, yeah, we'll see what the next best option is. Basically, is what
Can you just repeat that, please? Because
in with Top Rank, so they're basically paying for my visa too, so they want me over there. So things are looking pretty good. Just waiting for them to get back to us for the next best option as opponent wise.
Wow, there you go.
Featherweight, so yeah.
Exciting times, brother. Where can people find you online?
Instagram, just my name, Dana Coolwell, and same as Facebook, Dana Coolwell, athlete profile.
What do you got? You're up to what, 13,000 fans now, aren't you?
I think so, around that, or 10,000. Yeah.
That's a pretty good number.
Rockstar, mate. Get in there. Keep going. We've definitely got your back, and thank you very much for joining us on Raw Sport, Dana. Take care, everyone. Take care. Catch you all.
Thanks, Dana.
Raw Sport.